Hello, everyone, and welcome to Zest Zen with me, Shel Marie, the podcast that will take you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion while finding your peace. Today, I am deeply honored to welcome Professor M.S. Rao, who is a remarkable author, researcher, and storyteller whose life reflects both profound resilience and timeless wisdom. After serving nearly 12 years in the Indian Air Force, Professor Rao faced unimaginable challenges, including a massive brain hemorrhage in 2021 that left him bedridden for months. And yet, through it all, he emerged not only as a survivor, but a spiritual teacher. And yet, through it all, he still held his truth, his leadership philosophy, and was still a beacon of soft power in a world that can often be deeply testing and uncertain. Today, I honor my guest not only for his knowledge that he is about to share, but for his extraordinary courage that he embodies. A warrior, a true warrior of the heart, Professor Rao has risen from immense physical trials to stand once more as a guide, a philosopher, and a beautiful soul committed to service. May his story illuminate the path from survival to sovereignty, from pain to purpose, and from silence to legacy. In his best-selling book, See the Light in You, Acquire Spiritual Powers to Achieve Mindfulness, Wellness, and Happiness and Success, it features a foreword from His Holiness the Dalai Lama and is dedicated to the former Vice President of India. It's in these pages and in all his teachings that there is a call to awaken to our inner power, deepen our self-trust, and lead from a place of mindful intention. Beyond the written word, he leads transformational leadership development and global educational innovatives be all around the world that blend his inner mastery with outer strategy. His voice is one that this world needs to hear, and I feel so grateful, and it feels so much immense gratitude for him contacting me to share his incredible story with you. May he continue to rise, and we all rise with love, lead with purpose, and live with unshakable faith and grace. It is an absolute honor to welcome you today. Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a true honor for this interview, and thank you for taking your precious time to invite me. So I'm very much excited to enjoy this conversation.
You are so welcome. Yes, when you first popped up, let's just say on LinkedIn, it was more than just what you sent me. Like, there's having a story and there's living it. And for me, I can't even comprehend half of what you've even been through. And like to listen to you now, to speak to you now, and to just see, and not saying that people go the other way and become bitter or sad, but to see you now and just even when we connected before the podcast, you just radiate this peace and this love and this kindness. And so thinking about that and your powerful story of all you've been through, I don't even think I've even touched on much of it, because one, it's not my story to tell, it's yours, and it's actually your life. And two, for anybody listening right now that maybe is going through something quite challenging in their life, what words would you say to them?
Yeah, first of all, let me share with you my introduction little bit. I published 54 books, including the best-selling book "See the Light in You," for which the Nobel laureate, His Holiness Dalai Lama, has written a foreword.
So you can see the light in you there. You're glowing.
Yeah. Thank you. So then I have 44 years of diversified experience, including Indian Air Force teaching, training, and I had a brain stroke in the year of 2021, and
Mm.
my life is full of challenges. And I was born into a toxic family and grew up in a toxic environment. I'm 62 years old with the mental challenges, physical challenges, and
Mm.
financial challenges. And I don't have two-wheeler, I don't have four-wheeler. I have lots of challenges. And I'm a storyteller, philosopher, researcher, and lots of things I do it. Despite the challenges, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix. This
Yes.
is briefly about my introduction. Apart from that, I made my debut as a non-fiction author in the year 2010, and I published 54 books. And within a span of 15 years, I published 54 books. You can imagine the kind of efforts I have
Wow.
put in my life. And I wake up every day morning at 4 o'clock, at night 10 o'clock I sleep. So I work very hard. I don't take a rest. I take rest only at my graveyard. So I enjoy,
Not
I
soon.
keep.
That's not happening soon.
Oh, thank you, thank
He's
you.
got a lot more books
So
to write, by the way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that means I'm very alcoholic. What is it? I'm hardworking, and sometimes I'm stammering of the brain stroke. So for the last 4 years, I have challenges. My right hand has been right portion of the body was totally paralyzed. So lots of challenges I have. Sometimes I'm repeating the same thing. My right hand has been paralyzed, so I can't type with my right hand. I can't eat with my right hand. So lots of challenges in my life. Uh, and apart from that, I create models, methods, frameworks. So lots of things I do it. So I published 15 books within a span of published 54 books within a span of 15 years. So you can imagine the kind of efforts I have put, and that out of this 15 years, 4 years I had health challenges. So I can't write any book. My books. I'm passionate about writing. So if I didn't have COVID, if I didn't have that brain stroke, probably I have published more books, and probably I could have impacted globally. So okay, the good news is that I survived, and I'm moving. So this is briefly about my health challenges, and uh, and I don't stick to any particular genre. In the sense, I started my books with as a non-fiction author in the year 2010. Then I started I started writing books in teaching, training, mindfulness, then soft leadership. Then again, I entered into a new genre, that is now I'm writing a book on survivor. It is a memoir. In fact, I wanted to write my autobiography before the COVID. But COVID was a dampener, and things have changed for the worse. So then I thought, let me write a memoir, a short portion of the autobiography. So now I'm working on my memoir. So like this, I keep doing. Now I'm also researching as a philosopher. So I'm trying to write a book on my philosophy in the future. So I don't stick to any particular genre. The basic challenge with me is that I don't have any guide. I don't have any mentor. I don't have any coach. So whatever was coming on the way, I was accepting and I was doing. So
Wow.
this was the challenge. And I was born into a toxic family and grew up in a toxic environment. And I was born on October 31st, 1963, in a tiny village in India. My father was alcoholic and my mother was a naysayer. So I was cursed with toxic siblings. So we can't help because We have to create our own destiny. So at the age of 18, I left my family, and then I joined Indian Air Force. So
Mm.
up to 18 years, so I was working with my father. Then I was preparing teas. I was serving in the tea stall. Sometimes I was cleaning dishes. Sometimes I was preparing tea. So lots of things I did it. So my life was very challenging and very troublesome. And luckily, I had a dream to serve my country. So I joined Indian Air Force at the age of 18. So it was a turning point. And after I joined the Indian Air Force, I started evolving as a healthy citizen and as a leader. So
Mm.
this is how I started leading. So I was very happy that I came out of the toxic family. That's one thing.
Wow.
And luckily, I became a soldier in the Navy. Then in the 1982 February 4th, I joined Indian Air Force. Then military life was very tough. So morning we wake up, at night 10 o'clock we sleep, and we had to go for health run. So lots of challenges in
Mm.
my life. So every month I sent money to support my parents because it's the culture in India to support my parents. Then I
Wow.
give my money to my parents. Then I give my money to my parents and siblings. Unfortunately, my own siblings, they have exploited and cheated. So lots of challenges I
Yeah.
encountered. And after and then again, what happened? After I served in the Indian Air Force, then I started studying of my own because I was a college dropout. Then I acquired six qualifications after I joined the Indian Air Force: DAB, PSc, MBA, MBA, PhD, CLL, PhD. All these qualifications I acquired through private education,
Wow.
not a regular education. I so that was the thing, and people might think that I acquired my qualifications on reputed universities like Harvard or Cambridge, something of that. But the reality was that I was a college dropout, and I started with my. I'm. I didn't know how to speak English also. That was the portion because English is not my native language. So I
Wow.
started so lots of challenges. Then, but I started adapting, and
Wow.
I joined Indian Air Force. Three things I maintained in my life. One is I go to temples near. I emphasize spiritual leadership. Second thing, what I do is that I'm a fitness freak. I go to gym for the last 40 years. I'm going to gym. This is the second thing, and
Sorry, could you
third
say
thing
that
is
again? What was the second thing? Sorry, what was the second thing?
the first thing was that I visited temples because I since my childhood I had the habit of going to temples
Beautiful,
across the
beautiful.
India. So I emphasized the spiritual leadership. Then second thing was that I started hitting gym
The gym.
workout. Gym,
Oh,
yeah. For the
nice.
last for the 40 years I am going to gym. So this is the second quality of mine. The third thing is I started visiting libraries. Wherever I go to libraries in India, and also when I was in Seattle, also I visited libraries. So these are all the three
Oh,
aspects.
libraries. Sorry, I was trying
Yeah,
to think. Yeah,
yeah.
libraries.
So these
Amazing.
are the
Wow. Well,
yeah these
that's
are
the
all the
mind, body,
mm,
and soul, isn't it? The spiritual. So that's amazing.
yeah. So these are the three things that shaped my personality, my character, and
Mm.
despite being born in a toxic family, I started adapting and I started growing. Then again, for 12 years, I served in the Indian Air Force, the lowest rank of a corporal. People might think that I was an officer in the Indian Air Force, but I served in the lowest rank of a corporal. Then my father invited me to join business. So unfortunately, my father-in-law and brother-in-law they have cheated and backstabbed. So this was one more challenge in my life. So my life was full of challenges. The
Mm.
kind of family I was born into. Then second thing is my father-in-law and brother-in-law backstabbed, and there was no support. So lots of challenges I had. Then
Mm.
I was a soldier. Then I did business for some years, which didn't work out. Then again, in the year 2007, I became an educator. I became an accidental educator.
So,
Uh,
Dr.
uh,
Professor Rao, sorry, just to because I feel like I'm just thinking about our listeners right now. You've just shared so much, by the way, that I just feel like I just want to um just pull out a little bit of gems from there because I noticed that you say about your hardship and your challenges, and I can hear all that's happening in your life, which is like, wow. First of all, what an incredibly strong soul you have. And
uh,
second of all, um, I feel like through your storytelling, whether you're aware of it or not, you are bringing just through you sharing your story, not as putting anything on anyone else, but you are showing, which I know you're going to continue and reveal, how even though you're saying these words and these things that happened in your life, you've taken it and you've used it as fuel to infuse it into the world for the good. You've not taken it and just kind of accepted it as this is just the way my life is always going to be. So
mm,
I believe now, I don't know what your life's like now. I know you said about your arm, but you just told me you're going to the gym. Come on, yes, you're going to the gym. You're
yeah,
working on your mind. You're still, okay, how many did you say? 53 books?
54 books. 54 books
54 books. Come
I
on.
published.
I think
54.
people really need to really hit home and hear that. Despite everything you said, you've said about your home life wasn't ideal. Your even your profession was challenging, and you still some time in between that, you still wrote 54 books, and you will
Yeah,
still continue. So
yeah.
I think before you continue, I just really want to actually honor you and your
Mm,
journey and your continual journey because in you telling your story, it shows that despite all that is happening, and I know this is really hard for people to hear as well, but often the key players, I don't want to call them like players, but people in our lives that actually are so close to us are
mm,
often the ones that play these parts in order for us to become the incredible human you are today. So,
yeah.
as much as I am not absolutely diminishing anything that has happened to you, you are allowed to feel that, truly feel that. But when I look at you now and I hear your story, despite all that's still going on, wow. So I just want before you continue, just for you to hear that because I know you're also going to talk about, which I think is such a powerful title, turning scars into stars.
Yeah,
Now, even
yeah.
that, it's just so poetic, but so
Mm,
powerful, the wording that you use. But please
yeah,
continue. But I just really wanted to acknowledge you because this is about you, not just
yeah,
all your achievements, which are phenomenal. It's about the beautiful person behind all of it. So
yeah. Thank you.
you're so welcome.
As I told you, no, I publish books in different genre. Then I started exploring a new genre that is memoir. So I started, I think, for the last 3 months, and I started researching, and I started writing a memoir
Mm,
titled "Survivor." Turn your scars into stars. So,
mm,
Survivor is the title, and subtitle is Turn Your Scars into Stars. So this is the
yeah.
title of the memoir. So I started researching, and that too, I found it very difficult to type with my right hand. As I told you, I can't read with my right hand, and I can't type with my right hand. So slowly I'm typing, and I'm writing my memoir.
Mm,
So despite the challenges, I'm typing slowly and doing and slowly I'm adapting. For the last 4 years, I'm having challenges. Now
mm,
I'm walking, that's fine. And so this book talks about my brain stroke, then again betrayal, then back pain. So it touches upon three aspects. One is my brain stroke. And second thing is, it highlights about my betrayal by my toxic family members. Third, it talks about the brain stroke. These are the three aspects I'm covering in this memoir. So this talks about my challenges in the year 2007 to 2025. So it is a part of autobiography, a memoir. So it talks how I became an educator. I became an
Mm.
accidental educator. Because
Accidentally on purpose.
yeah, yeah.
Might I
Thank you for
add?
yeah, yeah. So 2007, I had business challenges. I didn't know what to do. Then I left business. Then I started thinking what to do, because my wife and my two sons and I had lots of financial challenges. So, but I don't give up in my life. So then, what I did, then I started. By then, I had six qualifications: DAB, BSc, MBA, MBA, PGDCLL, and PGDM. All the six qualifications through private education. So I acquired. So education helped me overcome my adversity in the year 2007,
Mm.
right? Then I started thinking what to do. Then I applied as a faculty member, because I already had MBA as a qualification. So
Mm.
then I started. I think for a few days, I gave my resume, and I walked around 10 miles in a day to go to all colleges, educational institutions,
Sorry,
to
just
apply
to say
for
that you walked 10 miles
in a day,
in a
and
day.
in a day I used
You're
to
saying all this
walk.
stuff like, yeah, I walk 10
Uh,
miles in a day. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. I think we need to really be listening to what you're saying. Like you walked 10 miles
so
in a
10, yeah,
day. This is
yeah,
not
yeah.
normal stuff, but you're incredible. Carry on.
Yeah. So even now also I walk every day 6 kilometers every day, and I don't have two wheeler. I don't have four wheeler. The people think I have a four wheeler. I'm flying in aeroplanes, something like that.
God
But the
bless
reality is that
you.
I don't have two wheeler. I don't have four wheeler. Still I go for a walk.
Not
I
yet.
have
Not yet, you
yeah.
don't. You will do. This is your time of transformation now.
Yeah.
You got all your fuel, and now you're gonna soar.
Yeah, that's why see, everything happens for a reason. So
Absolutely.
every dark cloud has a silver lining, right? So
Yes.
we are very positive. Then I for 10 miles, I walked all education institutions. That was a small town. Then I went to all the colleges, but everybody said no. Then finally, when I was returning from the college, one faculty, then he called me, hello, come back. Then he told, here there is he's the principal of this college. Just meet him. Then I talked
Wow.
with the principal of the college. Then he told, why you have come here? I said, I'm trying to become a faculty member. Then he said, do you know how to teach? I said, I don't know how to teach, but I have the knowledge of book
Wow.
reading, and I read books and everything. So I attended a couple of conferences earlier, so that experience I am having. So because I am from a military background, I am very honest. So I told bluntly that I don't know how to teach, but I'll learn about teaching.
Amazing.
Then he has asked a couple of he gave me a demonstration. Then asked so other people were there. Then whatever the questions they asked, I responded. Then he said, okay, you become a faculty member. Then I became an accidental educator.
Yeah. Accidental. Yeah, right.
That,
This is the thing. Can I just quickly just say that? And I'm not saying all these degrees and I think because I actually did a teaching degree, but what I'm saying is it's okay going to uni doing the teaching degree, but I tell you something. You can
yeah,
be in those lectures, you can read those books, but the true training ground is in that classroom. So
yeah,
it doesn't matter okay, right, you might have the ticket that we all need, but it doesn't
Yeah, yeah,
matter.
yeah.
You had your
Mm.
life experience leading up to that point.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Then again, then I did no teaching. Then I started since I am passionate about education and learning, and I am a continuous learner. Two things I follow in my life. One is I am a continuous learner since my childhood to till date, and second thing is I take feedback from the
Brilliant.
people, whether it's a good positive feedback or negative feedback, still I
Yeah.
take it so that I can improve myself. I can
Yeah.
improve myself. So then again, I after I joined as a faculty member, then I started. On at that time YouTube started, then I YouTube, then again then I started online reading and everything, then gradually I started I started teaching students by trial and error method. Because I didn't know about teaching. Then I started. I am a continuous learner. The second thing is I take feedback. Then I started researching. Then I tried through trial and error method. Then I started gradually becoming, within a span of 6 months. I became very powerful.
Well,
And students,
yes,
they started loving me.
that's
Students, they
amazing.
started loving me. It's very challenging. The salary was very limited at that time. That the salary was enough to for me and my wife and two sons to live. So lots of challenges. So life taught me so many lessons. So in the month of December 2007, I applied for a PhD doctorate. I
Wow,
applied.
amazing.
So this is the seventh qualification. So at that time, what happened? I
Seven, you're
had.
gonna have to have some more hands soon. You're getting all your books are over here, all your qualifications, and then you're saying, "Oh, I'm not sure if I'm a teacher." I think you are more than a teacher. Leader.
Uh, so what happened in the year of in the month of December 2007, I an idea flashed on my mind to apply for PhD. So I
Amazing.
had MBA at that time because I had six qualifications. So that was one thing. Then I wanted to have some money, which I didn't have. So somehow I managed to. Third thing, I had to submit some research papers to the guide. So then what happened? I already contributed some articles a few long ago. So I have the writing attitude. Okay, so these three things helped me. Then I approached the guide. Then in the month of December, I joined for my PhD. Then what happened in the month of January 2008, rules were changed. The fee was hiked. If I delayed by a few days, then I wouldn't have been in a position to join for my PhD because
Wow.
money was required. Money was a problem. Second thing, fee was hiked. Then the norms and rules were changed at that time. So
Hmm.
that's why I share with everyone that when you get opportunities, grab them. Don't delay. This is
Thank you.
the
I was
second.
just about to ask that. So, in those times, because this is much more than you just sharing your story now, because you went through that. So, in those times, you literally had to have unwavering faith in the uncertainty, the unknown.
Sure,
And
sure.
I love that you didn't allow it to take you out of the
Yeah,
game, if we want to call it,
yeah,
because you knew, from what I heard, if correct me if I say it wrong, that you required a certain amount of money in order to achieve this, and you knew you didn't have that. So I think this is really important for people to really, really listen to. Often, something I've discovered, and I would love to know your view, is we've kind of been programmed to believe that when we see it, we should believe it. Now, I've come to realize it's not that, it's the opposite. You have to believe in order to receive. Not all the
yeah,
time, but
yeah,
what I've come to notice is that there's almost like this game of, are you really, really going to trust in you and your vision and what you believe you deserve? And you believed in that, And then look what you said. If I heard right, it just happened. It all came together because it
Yeah.
was for you. It's for you to, in you using your voice in your writing, you are being of service and of impact to the world. So why would it not work out for you?
Mm.
So I just really wanted to just really emphasize what you said because you are saying so many incredible things, and I don't want it to be lost in just a
Mm.
story because it's not a story. There's the
Mm.
gem in what you're saying. So thank you for all of that.
So this is then again in the year of 2007, uh, I worked for 2.5 US dollars in the year 2007 for one session. So very limited money. So I used to go by walk to teach, to conduct extra classes to get money per
Wow.
per a session of 1 hour. I was getting 2.2 US dollars at that time. Then I had to go very long distance to teach
So
to
sorry, did
earn
you
extra
what
money.
amount was that? Did you say 2.2?
2.5 US dollars for one class.
Wow, what per hour or
It comes 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour.
wow.
1 hour, very limited money, 2.5
Yes.
US dollars for one session to teach for 1 hour. Then I had to go by
Oh
walk
my
to attend.
goodness.
So that's how my life was very challenging and very tough. People don't know how I have, that's why I become very resilient in my life.
Yes.
I
And, and
become very,
and more than physically, by the way, more than physically, because this is not just physical, which you are 100% doing. You're walking, so you're not only knowing
uh,
that what knowledge you're giving is kind of you're not being valued in your worth of what you're giving. You're
yeah.
also putting in your effort to get there, and
Mm.
then mentally, but this is what
Uh,
I'm hearing from you. This is
uh,
all mind because mentally you had to believe. Because
mm.
if you didn't, because let's face it, were you doing that for the money really? I don't think so.
No, yeah, correct.
So that shows your character, the strength of you
Yeah,
and your character. That
yeah,
yes, you did need money in your life, but actually
yeah,
the effort you were putting in wasn't bringing that into your life. Yes, it was bringing some,
yeah,
but mentally, it's
uh,
like you knew that you just had to do it.
yeah,
That's incredible. And that's why your students
yeah.
love you, by the way.
Yeah. That's one thing. Students started loving my teaching. That's one thing. And the amount I was getting is only two and a half US dollars for one session. That too, I had to go by. So very difficult, and I had to protect my two sons. I had to protect my wife.
Wow.
So that too hard sun. I went by a walk. So in a
Wow.
so very difficult. It was a very troublesome life. So all these troubles made me to become very tough,
Yes.
very resilient.
I don't even
So
think that's the right word for you. I feel like you're beyond that word. Just
yeah,
saying. I think tough just sounds like you
yeah.
were like
So
iron.
yeah. Then then again I moved to a different city, that is Hyderabad in India. Then again I became a consulting editor. From educator to I became a consulting editor. So I was luckily I joined as a consulting editor. Again, the amount was very limited, but I was happy because they gave me cubicle and air conditioning office. So I felt very happy. But again, I was only researching at the time. But I wanted to teach basically. Then I told the management that I want to teach. Then what the my uh, the senior person told is that, so you can teach, we'll give you an opportunity to teach. Now you do research. That's what they said. Then I said I agreed. Then I did know about research, and but I enjoyed the ambience because air conditioner was there, so life was better. So then for 1 year I became a consulting editor. Finally, I became just a moment. I became a consulting editor. Yeah, when I joined, then they said, you can write any kind of books. Then I asked what kind of books I can write. Then they said, you can write any book,
Wow.
which must be a reference book, not an academic book. Then
Amazing.
I felt very happy because reference books means any book we can write. So at that time, what happened in the year 2008, I became a consulting editor. Then I started researching about soft skills because 2007 I joined for PhD, and I joined for soft skills. So I was acquiring knowledge about soft skills because I was doing research. The second thing, I was also writing books on soft skills because I was a consulting editor. So like that, multiple benefits I leverage. And in that office, what happened every day morning? First, I'll be the first man to go to the office, and I was the last person to leave the office. So
Wow.
morning to night, I was working very hard as a consulting
Commitment and
editor.
dedication. Wow.
And sometimes the office guy tells me, "Sir, you please pack up because
It comes
we have
in.
to go."
Time to go
Yeah,
home.
yeah, time to go home. Yeah, you said rightly. Then I said, okay, then I used to go back. So that was the kind of dedication I had, and I started learning about management, and I was learning about soft skills. So like that, it shaped. But then again, what happened? Unfortunately, the department was closed. It was one more problem.
Yes,
So,
but unfortunately, but
my
also sometimes I feel like you
uh,
received what
uh,
you needed to, and then
uh,
you have to be kind of pushed a little bit in order
uh,
to now give it, share it.
mm,
Just to elaborate on that for people that don't understand that word term that you just said, could you just explain what soft skills are? Because I think this is a very important thing that people need to know.
yeah, as I told 2007 I joined for PhD. My thesis was about soft skills. And soft skills was a new area. I always experiment and explore something unique. I don't do the routine thing. I always do some unique things. So then I took a new topic, that is soft skills. Right? I acquired six qualifications. One is DME, that is aeronautical, MBA, that is management. Then again DCLL, labor laws, I have done it. Then I got DBM, that is again management. So then again, I did a master's. Then is master's in sociology. So different academic background I had. I didn't have any same kind of education. All
Mm.
different areas I entered because I didn't have any guide. I didn't have any coach. I didn't have any mentor. Whatever was coming on the way, I was accepting and I was going.
Yes, I can.
Precisely, I was created a door, knocked the door, and availed the opportunities. This is how I led.
Amazing.
So you are asking about soft skills, right?
Yes,
Then
please.
again, yeah.
So
Uh,
I know you are so knowledgeable and you have incredible terminology and wisdom and expertise, but to just like pull it back and
uh,
like for someone maybe who isn't as academic and understands all these words, could you really like pull it back and so like people could really understand how it is applied to like businesses nowadays? Like what would it look like for people to just have really actionable like easy steps in order to like implement it into their life and their business?
Now, shall I explain about soft skills first?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. You asked about soft skills, so let me talk about. So I joined for PhD in the year 2007, and 2011 I got my PhD in soft skills. So soft skills are all about people skills, and this is the soft skills are all about your personality, attitude, and behavior,
Beautiful.
right? So these are all the basic things. People might think soft skills means somebody is, it is related to gender, it is related to then again emotional intelligence. So like that, people think in different ways. So people might think that soft skills means people are really soft. It is not that way. Soft skills are all about your personality, attitude,
Hmm.
and behavior. So
Beautiful.
because this was the new topic I started, and I started then for 4 years I did research on soft skills. Then I got my PhD in soft skills. Probably I am the first person in the world to have acquired my PhD in soft skills.
Amazing. Wow, what an achievement.
Yeah.
And
So
thank you
this
so much for really defining it because one thing I've particularly discovered, and I would love to know your perspective on this, um, soft doesn't mean you tolerate anything.
yeah, correct, correct.
And empathy does not
Uh,
mean sympathy. So,
yeah, both are different. Yeah,
yes, so I love that you're touching on this because I feel like this is my personal opinion, but I feel like there's this particularly not so much now, but before it was kind of control in the workplace of like taking from people or forcing them, like leading through force. Whereas
yeah,
my interpretation, and please elaborate and correct me if I'm thinking of it differently, but I feel like you can be loving and nurturing and still be respected.
yeah,
You
correct.
can be kind and compassionate, yet still lead with purpose and vision. And I
Yeah, correct,
feel like we don't have to scare people in order to control them. There's ways
correct.
we can go around it. These are still people with lives. Like, even what you said, like, someone could have been like, I don't care that you've just walked 10 miles. You're here now to receive this money because I'm giving you it. I don't care about your story. Whereas I think there has to be, and it's not feeling sorry for people, no, because we're all making the choices in our life. But
Yeah,
there has to be this like empathy, but also this like empowerment for that person
yeah,
because that
yeah,
person's still showing up for a reason. And
yeah.
so I love that you've mentioned soft skills because I think, and even now in certain situations, I think the moment things don't go to plan, people start like, well, I'm going to take your money or I'm going to take your time. And it's like, because something's not happening the way they like, they feel that the other person, which is generally what I notice happens, like when they know things, which is another thing that's quite not kind to when we know the people that are working with us. So, for example, you with the money, and them knowing that they have leverage kind of over that person. And I noticed that people then, through sharing their truth, are having like people use that truth to kind of keep them doing what they want them to do. And
Mm,
and and I think this needs to change because what I've personally found is you ensure that there's a strong foundation and that you are actually allowing people to feel seen and heard,
yeah,
not letting them get away with anything and tolerating anything. You still have like they have their role, but I
yeah.
think in just actually seeing them as the person they are and being like, okay, how can I as the leader help this person and implement something that is going to help their life a little bit more? In order for me to get more respect from them, how can I respect them back? Because I think everything is energy. So I'd love
Mm.
to know your perspective on that.
Yeah, now let me talk about the sympathy and empathy. You put it rightly. Your ideas align with my ideas because you talk about some words like kind and compassionate, beautiful words you are using. So I'm very happy
Thank
the
you.
way you
That's
are
really, really
communicating.
nice to hear. Thank you.
Kind and compassionate. This is the terminology I often use. Then I also talk about sympathy and empathy. Sympathy means you are feeling sorry for something. Empathy means ability to look into the other's perspective and responding. That is empathy. So the entire the world, the challenge is that people they don't empathize with others. They want you listen to me, I will do what I would like to do it. So like that. So in fact, what we have to do is we have to empathize with others. So when you empathize with others, what happens? You will be able to add value and impact. So you need to empathize with others. Okay, this is the one aspect I truly enjoyed from your interview. I always talk about you must be kind and compassionate. So this is the
Yeah.
terminology I also use it. So I think we are aligning. I think we are. I am very happy that
Yes, yes.
I am very part of this beautiful interview. Yeah.
Thank
Now,
you.
what is the question you want to ask me? Yeah. Next question.
Um, Sorry, I was just listening so intently to you, and I think this is the other thing. What I personally learned is just because it's just popped up now, I think there's also this queuing and waiting to not really listening, truly listening to someone
Yeah.
and waiting to
Yeah.
be like, okay, when's he going to stop? Because I have something to say. Whereas I've really learned as well, particularly in leadership roles,
Oh.
sometimes you go in with no intention and
Oh.
actually listen to that person. Listen to that person and then just see what comes through. And that's the essence of this podcast as well. I could have read your bio, okay? I could have crafted the most, made it all perfect. And perfection
Mm.
doesn't exist, okay? Everything is
Mm.
perfectly imperfect. And I could
Yeah.
have had it, my strategy, which I think,
Yeah.
people have their strategy and the meeting agenda. And it's
uh,
like, it's fine. Okay, no. Okay, preparation is key as well. But
yeah.
actually, sometimes just going in, like now, not now thinking I know everything about you from a bio. I have nothing, I don't know anything about you. Going in curious with an open mind and being open just to receive. And then whatever comes through me, I then question or ask you based on that. And I think that's when the magic truly comes to life and transforms people, because this is where the empathy and the sympathy comes from. Of if we are being sympathetic, we are actually putting a judgment and an assumption on someone. So
Correct.
for
Correct.
example,
Correct.
even in
Sorry.
your story, and it's not a story, it's your life, by the way, your life,
Life.
let's
Life.
just
Uh,
make that really clear.
yeah.
I could have, as a female, not just because I'm a female, but I could get very emotionally attached to all the wording that you sent me and all the things to do with your life. And yes, I 100% am empathizing with you, but I
Mm.
also, from another perspective, see the greater picture of
Mm.
how things in your life have brought you to this transformational moment now.
Mm.
So that is why, and there's no disregarding anything you've gone through. I will 100% honor you as a person you are and
Mm.
respect you for that. But I
Mm.
also see how we come in and these people, these opportunities, these
Mm.
experiences
Mm.
all end up being
Mm.
crucial parts of
Mm.
our life, whether that's when we're 18, whether that's when we're 88, or whatever, it
Ah,
doesn't matter. And
that
I
doesn't matter.
truly
Yeah.
believe now that
Mm.
you, through everything that you have come and you've experienced up to this point, this is why your books are going to be international, global bestsellers, because you know what? It's the
Mm.
man behind what happened. And you
Correct.
are the only one that can share that because it's your story.
Yeah. Excellent. Now you were talking about that empathetic listening, because people, what happens, they talk but they don't. So when we communicate with others, we must emphasize empathetic listening. That means we
Yes.
must empathize with others. At that time, what we have to suspend our judgment, and we have to listen to the people carefully. Then we have to talk. But unfortunately, what happens? People talk too much, but this is the problem. So, in because I published 54 books. One of the books is about business communication that talks about communication skills. So, in that book, I often refer to this listening. Listening is very much required. And listening is also, it should be active listening, not passive listening. So it should be active listening, and it should be attentive, and you have to listen carefully, and you should suspend judgment. That why? Because you are talking
Yes.
about suspending the judgment, then you have to listen carefully, then we have to talk. So this is one of the aspects I feel we should emphasize. Uh, People usually uh, when someone talks, we should listen carefully. Then finally we have to talk. But what happens? People, they keep on talking.
Yeah.
They enjoy talking. That it's good some ways, but in many ways it's not good. So many leadership if you look at any podcast or interview or anything, first we have to listen. After
Yes.
listening, then we have to respond. So this is part of the communication skills I mentioned, and it's you rightly highlighted this
Thank
communication
you.
skills and empathetic listening. Yeah,
Thank you. And one thing that you said, which I find really important as well, just to touch on, is you said listen and then respond. Now, just
yeah.
to add to that, I really love
Okay.
that. But I also think, again, just thinking about the past experience of being a teacher for 12
Yeah.
years, I think we need to change the way that we're showing children how to listen, because I think they think it's something that they look that you do, that you look, you go like
Yeah,
this, and
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
then, like what you're saying, they're not listening. They think that
yeah, correct.
listening is like, and
Yeah,
then you know that in the way that they respond, because it doesn't link. And
yeah,
and you see this going into adults feeding through, because that's what has been, I'm not saying that is the only thing that's been taught. There's incredible things happening in the world right now. But I think we need to explain more that it's not like now. Okay,
mm,
so if you say to a child, "Are you listening?" there, they think, they have a
yeah,
pose to add to it.
yeah, correct,
And
correct,
it's
correct.
like, what I really love that you said, we listen, then we respond. And this was
Mm,
really transformational for me, and I would love your take on it. Is
correct.
there's this kind of, again, it's like we listen, we respond, we listen, we respond. But I've actually come to realize that no, you don't have to respond, because actually sometimes in not responding, that is still a form of response.
Yeah,
And sometimes actually sitting with that uncomfortability brings um, more of what we want to hear. Because
yeah,
again, if I listen, and I'm 100% we should respond, but if I feel like intrigued, I can show you that, and I can just
mm,
leave that pause just a little longer in order for more to be revealed, without making a
yeah.
judgment, without making an assumption. But again, having curiosity, questioning, and I think, yeah, particularly in schools, this really needs to be, um, it needs to be modeled more, because I think we do, like, this is speaking, this is listening, this is looking, and even looking, right? I'm not going to go into it all, but even looking, like, are you truly looking? Or are you looking? Yeah, I'm looking.
Here
But
and there.
are
Yeah,
you
correct,
actually
correct.
looking? Do we really understand the definition of these words? So thank you so much for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like you have so much more to share, and I could speak to you for so, like, just ask you so much. And I know for a fact, and when you have all that information, I will 100% support you, because I know that people really need to, one, read all of those 54 books, and two,
Mm,
this incredible piece that you're currently creating. So I
mm,
just want to really honor you and thank you for all you're doing. Um, and I know I actually just have this knowing that this truly is your time now. It always was, but your time to be seen and shine because
Yeah,
you've done the work. Okay, you've got all the memories, the and it's not saying it in a disregarding way. I mean, you have this incredible story, okay, of your life. And
yeah,
now everybody needs to hear it. And
yeah.
I'm really, really excited for you and all that's going to come and enter your life. And because this is what people need to hear. They need to hear not just these people that have been highlighted and it's not disregarding these are, we're all on different journeys, but this is why I'm so passionate about every person, because I don't see
Yeah.
anyone different to anyone else. And at this point in your life now, people need to hear your story. So
Yeah.
I feel so honored and privileged to have this time with you. And I'm going to support you and as much as I can in all that you do. And I'm really excited for you.
I truly enjoyed your conversation, and there is a lot of clarity in your communication.
Thank you.
And first of all, I had that I'll have challenge with my communication, but you paraphrased and communicated effectively. So when you paraphrase, what happens? You will slow down, then you will try to communicate from my perspective so that we both will able to communicate effectively. So
Right.
I thank you for paraphrasing the things,
You are
because
so
I, because
welcome.
because my accent is from India. I speak with the Indian accent. And your accent is different, but still we bridge the gap with
Absolutely.
the
And also, you are perfect the way you are and the way you communicate. And I think this is just, and I'm sure you've touched on this in your book, this is just another way of not putting people's words into their mouths, of listening, really
yeah.
listening, and then commenting just for me also to understand what I've just received. And it's
Mm,
just like what you say, re-saying it. And I think we all have different voices, we all have different ways, and people can ultimately say the same message, but it can be received
mm,
very differently. So
mm.
thank you for that, and it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm excited for you and all that you're doing. Thank you for so much for your time today.
Thank you. And also, I enjoy your body language. Your body language speaks. I enjoy
Yeah,
your body language. It's very good.
I'm very expressive. That's the zest, and
Yeah.
then I can still, control it to the zen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you for your kind words. You
And
take care.
uh, take care, and thanks for giving me this wonderful opportunity. So my books are available on Amazon, and I'm available on this is a book
Yes, yes,
you can
amazing. I will put
see.
all in the notes,
Yeah,
and yeah,
show notes you can keep.
writing.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, then I think it makes much easier. So my books are available, and all that you have to know my name is M.S. Rao. So you'll find my books, or you can also Google soft leadership. So that talks about my profile. So many books are available, and mostly I'm connected with LinkedIn. So you will get everything online.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the way
Amazing, amazing,
you can get
amazing. It's definitely what this world needs to hear right now. So thank you so much.
with gratitude.
Take care.
With gratitude. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.